AV SuperFriends on Topic is an independent production wholly owned and operated by AV SuperFriends, LLC. For the highest quality recording of all of our shows, visit avsuperfriends.com. This is AV SuperFriends on Topic, a 30-minute monthly roundtable focused on a single topic. This discussion will be opinionated, to the point, and saturated with our well-known blend of painfully won expertise and deeply ingrained immaturity. For July 2024, it's the best-sounding podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends on Topic, broadcasting live for real from coast to coast, easternmost to westernmost, northernmost to southernmost, gatepost to hitching post. I'm your local host who can boast the most milquetoast and utmost humility. I'm Chris Dector. It's time for another Wednesday afternoon podcast adventure. So we are on Wednesday today, not Friday, because schedules. Why did we move from Friday?
Three-quarters of us are sounding good.
Yes. Jamie is joining us from a correctional facility in central Missouri somewhere.
It feels like it right now.
But you're committed, so we're going to give you the points. So, good job. So,
we're doing this on Wednesday because of scheduling issues with Friday and to turn this around and all that fun stuff. And I think next week will also be weird because of 4th of July and all that. But we'll figure it out.
It's definitely going to get weird. It's going to get weird today.
So, anyway,
what are we talking about? What are we doing?
Hold on. Cool your jets. Let's say hello.
Let's go.
Let's say hello to today's panel of AV SuperFriends. This whole thing.
Yes, stick to the notes.
So I'm joined by a district accounts orchestrator from Kansas City, Missouri, Jamie Reinhardt. Has no interest in that one.
No.
I think that's bad. We're also joined by a dynamic metrics administrator from Corvallis, Oregon, Marc Kolowazinski.
We got to get our numbers up. Maybe down. I don't know. Sideways.
It's all over. It's dynamic.
And finally joined by an executive vice president for principal functionality from Bowling Green, Kentucky, Justin Rexing.
Whoa. I don't even know what that means. What is?
I'm pretty sure that is your gig. If I looked at your PD.
Corn's tall this year. Corn's looking good.
Knee high by 4th of July. We're good.
That's right.
So you're saying as an executive vice president for, was it principal functionality? You're not 100% sure what you're up to?
As long as it works. As long as it works, I don't care.
Principal function.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the joy of coming up with these names every show. So, speaking of not coming up with anything for a show,
I don't look at mine before the show, so that one kind of got me. To be honest,
I just make sure we put a high level position there for you. You get upset. So, so speaking of not coming up with anything for the show, the Higher Ed AV Advisory Board or Editorial Board, wherever they are, also did not come up with a topic for this month. Granted, most people don't seem to follow those topics anyway. So instead, we're going to make this our 4th of July summer spectacular special show.
Spectacular on ice.
No, there's no ice.
I thought we were blowing shit up.
Hold on. Would you just cool it?
I thought we had a drone show.
So
we're doing a drones
4th of July show. So get out your flags. Wake up the kids at the crack of dawn for the renewal of their annual loyalty oath. Mm-hmm. Fire up your grills or smoker or barbecue, whatever you want.
Hide the dogs.
Light your sparklers and some firecrackers. And we're going to celebrate America by blowing up a small part of it.
That's right.
So
it's a tradition around here.
So our theme for this month's show is AV things that we want to blow up. So there you go. Now we're blowing stuff up, Justin. Are you happy?
My Dell laptop.
Yes. So we had some challenges before the show because Jamie is coming to us live from a women's prison or something. Not 100%
That'd be
sure.
way more exciting than most days at work.
Would it though? So. All right. So let's get some background ambience going here to keep us on theme.
There it is.
Good. Yep.
Ooh.
There we go. That's a little better. It's a little coming in.
Oh, it's loud. I got to do this on the fly. Cool it.
Yeah, he's doing it live.
This is a multi-dollar operation, guys.
We talked about this last week.
Multi-dollar operation here.
So anyway, so what we've all done is we've all brought something that, including Larry, who's not here because Larry's on actual vacation and complaining about it.
He sent a side dish. Just to
he did send in a contribution, which we'll bring up, and I'm a little upset because he stole a really good one that I wanted. But anyway,
in fact, It's really bad because I'm working on one right now.
Well, there you go. We can all
happens.
talk about that. In fact, let's start with Larry's contribution.
Start with Larry.
So Larry sent in the AV
Hey, wait,
thing
but
What?
the timer. Come on, man. There's a timer
every time.
here.
See,
Keep us honest here.
we're already behind. Make it go now.
There we go. We got these people have things to do at the top of the hour.
I know, we
can't
got to keep it under
sitting
30
in here,
minutes.
yeah.
We got complaints by random people. Anyway, all right. So Larry's contribution to things, the AV things he wants to blow up, and so far 2 of us on the show have already said we back him up on this one, are conference rooms with instructor stations.
No, we had a. Was this me chatting in the back channel yesterday about this?
Apparently, we all hate this. I don't know.
Isn't this
This
just
is like the new thing that everybody wants.
This is just a classroom.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's a seminar conference room hybrid worst of both worlds.
Duh.
Worst of
Let's
everything.
put a
Yeah,
bullet
here's the
table in
worst
here
thing
and
you
put
can
a
do.
podium off to the side. It'd be great.
Yeah, but they got to do their thesis defense in here. But we're going to use it as high-level conference room too. I've got a lot of requests for this exact thing lately. this is what people want. And
I
yes,
went through a period of time where I had a bunch, and then I've gotten rid of most of them, and then just so happens today I have one.
You're welcome.
I haven't had one in years. And today, and yes, I'm sitting here going, this is dumb.
I feel like we're talking about this like alcohol. Like, I haven't had a beer in a few years, but I had one the other week, and it was pretty dumb.
That's how this
but-
stuff works. It's all cyclical.
Then you wake up the
And it
next
comes
morning, you're
back,
like,
and then
that's so bad. Why did I do
why
that?
did I do that?
Can we launch this in real time, Chris? If I said, let's go ahead and launch this thing. Could we blow this up? Could you give us a sound effect for us blowing up this seminar?
We're gonna blow
now?
this up. Okay.
Let's go ahead and light this and launch
We're
it.
gonna take all conference rooms. We're gonna with conference rooms with lecterns, teaching stations.
/ podiums, whatever they are.
Podium's something you stand on, lectern
Yeah, I know.
you stand behind. Get it
There's
right.
people-
Anyway,
yeah.
we're gonna take all
Just
of those
blow it up,
figuratively.
damn
We're gonna
it.
put them all out in the field, and Justin is gonna set off some tannerite for us.
Oh, the tanner! I get to play with tannerite.
Yeah, launch it. Go.
All right, here it is.
I guess this would be.
Gone. Kill it.
This would have a better effect if we didn't have video. I think maybe.
Well, we can see it. They can't. So, all right.
We have awesome video. They just can't see it.
Yeah, you should see the stuff we're not showing you. It's amazing.
So yeah, I would back that up. That I have never, prior to arriving at University of Wyoming, I have never seen a university that has so many full-on administrative conference rooms with a lectern in it. And worse than that, when I ask people, do you want that there? Can we remove that? Their response is, no, we want to keep it, which is confusing to me. So
We've grown accustomed to it. We need it.
it's almost as if they think it needs to be there because they don't know where else to put stuff, which is the wrong response.
Not sure we need
that's
tabs.
loud.
Hold
Chris.
on.
Jeez.
I'm adjusting stuff on the fly. This is not all normalized. And
Man, this is kind of
Whoa,
somber.
it's fast. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why. Hold on.
Okay,
What are you
that's fine.
doing?
Keep that guy out. He was too somber and sad anyway.
So, somebody's
Trying to
already
get back to a
celebrated.
march to keep us on theme.
Okay, well, who's up next?
All right. Mark, you're at the top of the list.
Mark,
so
you're dead.
Yeah, okay, I'm
You're
done.
in.
This is lately when we go into the older rooms, or maybe not even that old for some folks, but having to deal with like frame-based AV systems, like these
Like a
cards
chassis?
and slots, chassis, like
You have to order it special.
You gotta order
You
it
Right
say
things.
this, Mark.
I know.
And then next year, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start putting AV over IP cards in a frame.
Sure.
And you're going to have.
I'm not saying taking like the throwdown boxes and putting them in a chassis and putting them in a rack. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like when you have to deal with like DM or whatever, pick your thing, HD base T large form chassis with card slots, or even DSPs with all the little IO slots on it. It's like, it feels like I'm walking
77
back in time when I
screws.
go to deal with one of these things.
You wait. Some manufacturer is going to do that same thing with AV over IP, and it's going to look very familiar to that HD base T stuff that
It
we
better look like a
used to.
network switch is what it better
No,
like
it's
when
gonna
all
look
said and
like-
done.
It's going to look like this crazy bastardized thing.
No.
that You're not going to.
No, I don't want. No, so it's just those things. And then when you get like, remember the old weird multi DVI Klingon thing that can be anything you want it to be? Those ones are like
Oh, yeah.
definable ones. Those are the best.
You mean like the ones that actually sent audio through a DVI connector?
Audio,
'Cause
video,
They did all
whatever.
the weird
It
stuff.
did
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It didn't care what you wanted to put on there. It did all of it. Like all that stuff. Like when you have all that weird analog coming into all these a la carte frame cards, like just all that stuff. I'm just done with it. I want to send it all to the dark side of the moon, man. Launch it.
All right.
Launch it, Chris.
Blow it up. We'll blow it up.
Blow it up.
That was some.
There we go. Look at all those little cards falling down on everybody. Yep. Good.
That was.
Loved it.
That was loud.
I'm trying to adjust the mixer on this thing on the fly. It's not great.
We only do this to watch you fumble through this, Chris.
Fumble through
just
17 screens of shit over here. So. All right, so I'll go on mine. I've got a bunch of them here. Like I said, Larry mentioned the one about lecterns and conference rooms. Hate that one. But I'm going to bring up the thing that I would like to take out in the field and let Justin put in a refrigerator full of tannerite and set off is systems that you inherit that have giant amplifiers, 300, 600, 1,000 watt amplifiers.
Oh,
Do they
those are
say
my favorite.
pyramid on them?
No, they say things like
in the back of a
they
car?
say things like crown.
Yeah.
But
1,000 watts.
But 600 or 1,000 watt amplifiers in
one
a
speaker.
moderate sized room with 8 ceiling speakers.
Tapped
Yeah,
it.
all
Tapped
all
at
the
20
seven-
watts.
It's all just here it is. Distributed
35
audio.
watt.
And it's just, tell
We
me
have
how you don't.
80% headroom in all of our rooms.
These rooms have
Everything's
300% headroom. We can get these to
terrible.
75 dB and then another 200 on top of that. So
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just- yeah.
Jinx. There you go.
if you guys want to experience a live space shuttle launch in this room, well, the speakers can't do it, but the amplifier can. So,
Yeah.
but the thing is,
We
this
could
was not.
drive lasers with this.
This was not an anomaly. This was not a 1 or 2 strange rooms. This is a repeated thing that I'm finding throughout spaces. 300 watt, 400 watt, 500 watt amplifiers set to bridged mono driving ceiling speakers, or worse, only one channel running at 300 watts on a 600 watt amplifier, driving a weird series parallel kind of structure of ceiling speakers that are not even wired correctly to start with. So.
Have you run across like a 4 8-channel amp with one channel running on 70 volt with about 100 watts on it? And you're like,
Cool.
Those other 3 channels, Justin, those are just for backup.
or what about the other 7?
Well, you
in
get
those
a lot of that.
8-channel amps?
You've all come across those spaces where you have that they were designed for the well, maybe later we're going to come back and add this kind of stuff.
We're going
I
to
think it
zone
was-
But
it
that
out.
was like 25 years ago, and you walk in now and you're like, we couldn't add anything to this if we wanted to. There's no way.
I think it's some of like, hey, we have this old amp sitting on the shelf. It hasn't been unboxed yet. We can just put that in instead of ordering the right one. Yeah, let's just do that. We're never going to use this 8-channel amp anywhere. Let's just throw it in. Who cares?
Well, I would forgive it if it was that sort of scenario, but these were brand new, specified that way. So, tell me you don't understand audio without telling me you don't understand audio by doing it this way. So
So you want to get an audio? We need an amp for every one of your speakers, sir. You got to make sure.
Everything's
Because
home
it's-
ran on a
again,
70 volt.
Yes, let's pace.
100 watts per
Yeah.
channel,
Yeah.
and we tapped that at 3.2.
We want to make sure you have the overhead, just to be safe.
anyway,
It's all about the
that's the first one. I've got 2 or 3 more if we need filler, but yeah.
Time allows. Let's get through the first round.
All right, so let me blow these up. I'm going to put these in a refrigerator. We're going to haul this out in the field and let Justin fill it with boxes of tannerite.
You got so much.
Tannerite.
It's starting to sound like my neighborhood around here. Good. That was a good one.
That's a big amplifier.
Yeah.
Take that.
was
Bad audio.
Take that, NASA.
The best part about that, by the way, is when you remove the 3RU monster from the bottom of the rack and you replace it with a little mini guy, and the room is balanced at the same level. You're like,
Or it's like strangely
that?
twice as loud. You're like, damn.
well, or that, but yes,
That's just because you actually plugged in the speakers.
because we rewired them correctly. So.
No. That's what they all sound like.
All right, so Justin, what's the AV thing you want to put out in the field and cover with kerosene and charcoal briquettes and blow
So
up?
I've thought about this for quite a while, and I got
At
down
least
to the
3-4
root of the
minutes.
problem.
Solid day.
And sorry, my dogs are about to attack the UPS guy. Should be fine.
Just for fun.
So yeah, should be fine.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
Walk it off.
USB cameras that are only USB that are made to mount to walls that are PTZ.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, like big
So
PTZ cameras.
yeah.
I'm with you.
PTZ
Yes.
cameras that only have one connection on them. They could F right off.
Yes, they can.
Because that
Okay.
that's
Good
the
one.
root of a lot of evil that we deal with. It leads to USB extenders being
That's probably
thrown
like
around
half
all
of the
over
commercial
place.
subreddit. is how do I extend this shitty camera 500 miles in this giant conference room?
Get a different camera. Stop buying those cameras.
But we're buying this one.
We're buying it. We need it.
It's dumb. It's the same price to get two more connectors on it called SDI and HDMI. And guess what? That other camera has the USB on it too. For you idiots who still want to do that.
But how do I get all my native Teams functions, Justin? I need my native Teams and Zoom remote control functionality.
Not really.
Oh, I know.
No, you don't. So also leads to change orders in electrical. Because most of the time,
there's no
planning
power.
That out. You don't think about the local power you need at every camera because your USB 3 transmit receive doesn't power that camera. You're not doing
it does,
PoE.
as long as you're 2 feet from it.
Not all of them. And so now you have to add power there. So that's a change order. It just leads to stop doing that. Stop making PTZ
if you've gotten to a point where you have to,
mounts.
when you need to put like a duplex power or something for your camera, you're probably not going the right way.
Stop making them.
Yeah, get rid of them.
It's interesting. I think a lot of this is people think about it at the far side. They're saying, well, we want USB here, so I'm going to have to buy a USB camera.
They think of it backwards, and it manufacturers are making the camera. If manufacturers just stop making the camera, it would alleviate a lot of problems. People would not choose that camera and just, I
think there is a couple approaches that have gotten better at that, which is dare I say, the L1s, the S1s, those Hudley style ones where it has the structured cable extender, which puts the USB at the right location. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that type of stuff out there.
I don't like it, but I'm
waiting for more of it. Yeah.
Let's go back to it's still $1,000 camera, and you can get the right one for the same price.
Same price. It's you get
from the same manufacturer, and it looks the same.
Yeah. It's all the same. Why do you? I don't know why people do that.
But Justin, it has to be USB 40 feet away, so it needs to start at USB. You can't ever change that, apparently.
Zoom loves it. It's
the best.
Do something different, All
right, launch it. Get it out of here.
We're going to blow up all the USB PTZ cameras that shouldn't be USB to start with.
Get rid of them. It's a lot of them.
We haven't been oohing and eyeing.
No, yeah. Do
you want to ooh and ah? I've got one here labeled Grand Finale. You want that one?
Oh,
save
not
it.
yet.
Save it.
Save it for the Grand Finale.
Yeah,
we got to pace yourself here.
Was that the Grand Finale?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm
just going to hit all the buttons when that comes up.
Who's the producer of this show? What's going on? Why is everyone?
Today.
Today.
The intern's called out
order?
today. There's no interns for the show. It's just us.
Yeah, we don't have a producer.
It's me trying to do too much all at once, and no one's got the run of show set up. So,
but there's notes.
There are notes.
Yeah,
so.
It's the first time we're ever actually looking at the notes together.
All right, so Jamie, what is your AV device service procedure thing, whatever, that you would like to put into a child's inflatable bathtub and fill with frozen concentrated orange juice and gasoline and set on fire?
That was an oddly specific example.
I'm just describing what my plans are for the weekend. So.
Okay.
Something about
something in Wyoming. Okay.
With baths and orange juice and children.
Kerosene and orange juice are really expensive.
Kerosene and fire.
Anyway, smart TVs, and not like Walmart smart TVs. Professional grade smart displays.
So you mean displays that have an OS built into them?
Yes.
But are still labeled commercial grade? Uh-oh. Jamie just dropped off. We've got to...
It's okay. He's going to come back. We'll come back to that one.
Okay.
There he is. He's there.
Yeah.
Don't click that button again.
Yeah, don't touch it.
But these I'm going to name names, but I liked it when I got it with New Line, right? They have or some of these other ones where it looked great. It had the sound in it, had microphones, had the camera, but you had to touch the screen in order to change the inputs because there's no remote control. And then the OS gets out of date, and then it stops working, and you can't even manually change the input to use just it as a dumb display. I'm over it. It sounded like a great idea 5-6 years ago. Terrible idea. Blown up.
That sounded like a bad idea then. Why would you buy that?
It was never great.
And, you get suckered into the first few of them. You're like, it's a touch display. It's big. It's got everything I want. Let's try it out. And I hated it, every minute of it.
Yeah.
They're support nightmare. And then when they do, like the overlays start not working because of drivers or something, it's just a useless piece of crap. It doesn't even turn on. There's no button. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So this has been something I've been fighting as far as the interactive displays, the smart displays, whatever you want to call them, but with an OS on board. Usually Android, not always.
Yeah.
And invariably when that no longer gets support or no longer gets maintained or doesn't meet security requirements to touch the network, it becomes a pain in the butt. And a lot of these, to your point, don't like to operate without you having to go through that interface all the time. Mm-hmm. I found a few displays that are interactive displays that don't have that, which is great. I'm glad they're out there. My fear almost every time I go to order one is it's going to not exist anymore, because I'm sure it's just me and one other person buying this stuff.
And it's even a few years ago, Dell had those 50, what is it? It's like 86 all-in-wonder things, and at first you're like, this does everything.
No, I think the correct term was it does like some of the stuff you need, but not all the things, or some of the stuff you want, but none of the stuff you need. I think it was something we put in there. It was so close, and then it just wasn't.
Yeah, just they've been pissing me off lately, and I'm kind of over them.
Yeah. So I found another one recently that was on campus that somebody said, "Hey, can you come look at our smart board? It's not working." And I was like, "Okay, I wonder what brand of smart board is this one?" Because they're all smart boards. This was an actual Smart Tech smart board. I was like, "Wow, look at that!"
They were right.
And
software.
It had like double layer appliance inception going on. Ooh. It had an OPS slot Android appliance. Inside, I'll have to take a picture of this and put it on the Twitters. Inside of which was a PC card running a Windows PC with a low-power Core i5 processor.
Wow.
Both of which had been long since abandoned, one by Google and one by Microsoft. So none of these were receiving updates or anything. However, added bonus, when I removed that OPS slot appliance,
it started working and everything was fine.
It worked fine. It worked like a dumb monitor that I could just plug any computer into, and it freaking worked. And I was like,
hoping you were
holy
going to say you had
look at this thing.
I was hoping that was Android with Windows in it, reflashed, and like turned into like a Steam gaming engine or something like that. That would have been like the ultimate thing.
Well, where the story started, or where the ticket started was
Bitcoin miner or something.
It was nothing but Bitcoin. Where the initial support request came in was our like whiteboard app or something was crashing, but because it was so old, it was just a whole thing. But they were just using the built-in one. I was like, what if we just plugged a computer into this and you could do whatever you wanted? And you're like, oh,
yeah, sure, I can do that.
I see them becoming more popular again because they're running one of the room's systems right there on the display, and I just see in 2 years everybody going, wait, that was a $9,000 display that's useless now because I can't run the software update.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you deal with addition by subtraction.
That's right.
Right?
You want me to
just added features? It started working.
Blow them up.
Would you like me to subtract this from reality?
Get it, please.
All right,
blow it up.
Here we go.
Launch it. Wow, that one.
They're only blowing up the card because the smart board still works.
Apparently,
can all
yes.
go.
Yeah,
but no, Jamie, you raise a good point about room systems that run on these things. What happens in 5 years when either A, it's no longer supported and it stops working, or B, you change to a different ecosystem and you have one of these that only works with the certain ecosystem, and now you're kind of up a creek because it's still an 85-inch monitor. Why can't we just use that?
Do you really want like the inconvenient truth of that, Chris?
Yes.
You said 5 years. It's time to replace it.
Time to replace the hardware?
The whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be thinking and expecting it to last out 5, 7, 10 years. That's not reality.
I just wanted to
That's
go 2.
not reasonable.
Well, what are you talking about? That's our refresh cycle.
I want to go back and add to Justin's quick, the camera thing.
Oh, yeah, you like
pile on this USB thing?
Yeah. Jamie, get up on that mic. You're drifting.
I really hate camera manufacturers
Lean into that phone
who
of
have
yours.
all of the
Take your
outputs.
phone, Jamie, and talk like this.
Talk like it's like a piece of pizza.
You think? Yeah, do I need to? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, we're not joking.
No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do that.
Yes.
You're reporting live from the scene.
Your
Go.
phone.
Live from the
Dude, you should have been doing that the whole time.
Why didn't you tell me,
Why
jackass?
would
We've been in the chat yelling at you, but
I can't see it because I'm not on my phone.
Jesus. Criminy.
First world problems.
Anyway,
Okay.
Justin's example is I hate camera manufacturers who put all of the connectors, but only one can be used at a time.
No, yeah, make them all usable.
oh, it has 3 outputs, but it's only one.
Choose one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if
Built-in
you plug
DA,
in
they all work.
USB, you don't get HDMI. Like what?
No.
All right. Who's left? What do we got?
Wow. I think we've done it all.
We made it through. Wow. Do we have any extra credit ones? You got a couple extra
Yeah, let me
ones.
rattle off a few other ones.
Yeah.
But let me change the song here because this is driving me nuts here.
I'll be mine there. I'm getting to the point where touch panels in general, I think I'm about ready to get rid of them. I think they're a little bit problematic for us everywhere. All the
Marc
time.
hates touch panels.
I do. I've been saying it for years. Hashtag button panels are the new touch panels.
I'm becoming increasingly more.
I'm not ready. I mean, we're still
panels.
sitting on a bunch of them when they are useful-ish, but man, it's like a whole extra step of nonsense to do 2 or 3 things.
They are not ubiquitous any longer.
Yeah.
I only put them in when I have to.
Yeah.
See, it's interesting. Like, so, yeah, I've run into this, and I've several years ago tried button panels, and I got pushback both from users as well as others in IT. Fine, for the extra $1,000, they want touch panels. It's a conceptual, not a conceptual. It's an aesthetic thing. They want like this room's fancier. It has a touch panel. I'm like, okay, fine. Here's your touch panel, which right now, and I just looked at it today for our general layout for our new classroom UI on touch panels. It has 3 buttons on it. That's it.
But I'm saying,
so
what are you doing?
We could touch panel the hell out of this thing, but nope. People want touch, or we could button panel it, but people want touch panels. So, fine. Here's a touch panel with 3 buttons. Okay. That's what they want.
Foolish.
Let me ask this question. Is this a stupid question? Like, is this the car
probably.
effect? Like, what if you bought a brand new car and it didn't have a touchscreen in it? You're like, what the shit is this?
My truck does not have a touchscreen.
Your truck's not new.
If you bought a brand new car
Yes.
and got in it and were expecting that experience and
There
it
may
had
be part of
nothing
that.
but knobs and buttons and it looked like an airplane.
Perfect.
Though
But
the irony is,
but-
a lot of airplanes now are all
That
glass
stupid
cockpits too.
touchscreen pisses me off more often than
But
not.
that's the thing
That's
that
probably
when
the
you
effect of
have
it.
to like meet with an instructor so they can figure out how to use the system, it's because there's too much shit on button panels and touch panels all the time. Where it's like
I know, I'm not saying
on,
that.
off. What are we doing? Like,
I know.
I have 3, Mark. On, off, and help. That's it. That's all they get.
There you go. But it's all that other
they hit help
crap.
first.
They
that
start
makes
with
people-
people. Start with
They only
help.
have one
Yeah.
button and it's off. Or
Well,
on.
They're always
today
on. You just turn them off.
Today, the 15-minute debate is on the ever popular, like, are you sure you want to turn off the system page and how
Are
we
you
want
sure
to, like,
you're sure?
are you sure? Yes, no, maybe.
Log in to shut this off.
So where we landed was,
so you're using Teams.
where we landed was we're taking the international power symbol, which is a 1 and a 0, and we're making one of the buttons just a 1 and the other button's a 0, and we let the other people figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure that goes over well.
It'll
'Cause-
go over perfectly.
It's just, that's genius. Blow that shit up.
I have one last round of blowing up touch panels. Here we
Dude,
go.
We're at the grand finale here
Flashing
soon.
zeros.
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I like the gold flitter.
That was a car crash.
You're supposed to say it's the Death Star, Gene. That was the Death Star. Do you have kids?
Oh, I like the red starburst. Justin likes the golden shower.
Yes. Well,
Did y'all?
All right.
Did
Just for
y'all
that, I'm
say
gonna name.
something during that?
I'm gonna name the episode that.
Don't worry about it.
I couldn't hear a damn thing.
Well, we're all
All
deaf now because it's 4th of July. That's what you
4th
do.
of July.
So.
I only
I
got
thought Jamie was yelling about golden showers.
Half thumb left.
Something. All right. So, other ones,
I like
real
the
quick.
ones that
I
just
hate.
rain down.
I hate 16:10 projection screens with a 16:9 LCD in the room because then you can't ever do that. So please stop. I also hate mixing any display technology of like there's a projector over here and a monitor over there because no matter how good you make that projector look, they
They'll
will
never
complain because the
match.
monitor looks better. So
never match.
yeah. So there's all the stuff that we wanted to blow up for the 4th of July.
You're welcome.
So
All right.
Was that success?
I don't know.
How many fingers you have left? If you have any, it was not successful.
I've had some close calls on July 4th. I'm lucky to have all 12 toes and 12 fingers.
I know.
So
Some
This
fingers.
we all believe.
Wait, what's happening in Kentucky right now?
I've heard the stories.
All right. Well, I think that's it
Close calls.
for this month. Hope everyone enjoys. Have a happy 4th. And well, by the time you're listening to this, you already. Wait, no, it's in 2 days, 3 days.
be safe.
What-
We
Be
are
safe.
live.
When the
dude.
hell is it now? I don't even know.
They're doing it now.
It's doing right now. You're listening to this now. You're making your entire family listen to this instead of
on your drive.
yeah, on the drive to
Or
grandma's for
at
4th of
work.
July.
Yeah.
They're wasting work time.
Boy.
All right.
Probably reevaluate your life.
We'll roll out. Be
choices.
back next month, and you can catch everything else we do over on avsuperfriends.com.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Happy 4th of July.
America.
Thanks for putting up with yet another episode of AV Super Friends On Topic. Contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at avsuperfriends.com.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I like that.
The opinions expressed by the AV Super Friends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.